Welcome to summer. So are you the type of person that jumps straight in on the first day of summer, the water's still kind of cool, or do you inch in? Hi, I'm Scott Hamilton, certified financial planner, fee-only fiduciary. I help families retire tax efficiently. So let's get into some of the details. Really what we're talking about is dollar cost averaging. So, let's assume you work for a Fortune 500 company and you put in, you've worked there for 30 or 40 years, and every month you set aside money into the 401k, the profit sharing, maybe a Roth, maybe after tax. But you know what you're doing every month that you're doing this is dollar cost averaging, so that you're slowly building up your portfolio over time. And that's a great example of what dollar cost averaging is. So it's the alternative is let's say you receive an inheritance. It's a lump sum of cash. And then all of a sudden you've got, you've worked for 30 years, you've got $1 million sitting there right there in the IRA, the 401k. You receive an inheritance, say, of $1 million. What do you do with that cash? Should you invest it all at once, or should you put it in over time? And so that's the gist of dollar cost averaging. So let's talk about from a math perspective. The math answer is to invest it all at once. And the reason why is we have a 100-year track record of the stock market, 1926 to now. And the average return's 10% per year. I'm not saying that's going to be in the future. That's what the past has been. But that's our best idea, right? So the market's been up probably 3/4 of the time, 2/3 of the time, per year. And some years are down, but more years are up. And simply, the market has just performed. It's been an increasing trend line over time, which means you're better off putting the money in there. Now, especially if you're a long-term investor versus a trader. If you're a trader trying to pick those tops, you got to be right twice. You got to pick the top, you got to pick the bottom, right? But anyway, so the math answer is invest all right now. However, we're all humans. We're driven by behavioral biases, and dollar cost averaging reduces some of those challenges associated with behavioral biases. So I'll give you a practical example. So let's say you have that, you've worked for years, you've got your IRA savings there, and you've also received a lump sum inheritance. What to do with that? So in practice, whenever clients face this, and we deal with this fairly regularly, we will always discuss and recommend the dollar cost option as an opening salvo. It's a good place to start. Now, it might not be the path we choose because you still got some subjective choices. So let's say maybe we put 50% up front and then put the 50% over the next 3 months. But it could be 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. How do you know? 3/4. That's when it starts getting into guessing. Anyway, we actively use it. We support dollar cost averaging. It can reduce your total cost basis. It's a good strategy. It's excellent for some people, but it's not for everybody. So it gets back to the swimming analogy. Are you one that likes to jump in, or are you one that likes to inch in? So maybe that's how best to handle a lump sum inflow in your case. Anyway, if you'd like to discuss the ins and outs of this, please feel free to give me a call, schedule us some time on the website. Be sure and like and subscribe, HamiltonFinancialPlanning.com. Thank you.